Hello and welcome to a new YouTube video, guys. It's Danny, also known as iAnnihilate, twitch.tv/iAnnihilate on Twitch. And today I wanted to go over what I thought the best offlane heroes in the patch are. This will be my personal opinion, not necessarily just based off stats. Also, it's a bit adjusted for like all levels of play, so not necessarily like pro play only or like 12k MMR only. So without further ado, let's move on to the list here. Again, this isn't really in any order, but I'll try to mention like things that I find important that might lead you towards trying a certain hero. I think that these top 5 heroes are much better than the bottom 5 personally for like all around gameplay. But like these bottom heroes are either worse versions of the top heroes, these honorable mention ones. So like I think Axe is just better than Legion Commander in my personal opinion. I think that something like Night Stalker or Centaur is better than Slardar. And then these are like specialist heroes, like Enigma, Beastmaster, and Brewmaster are phenomenal heroes. They're probably even better than a lot of the top heroes, but you have to like play a lot of games on them or be familiar with them. It's not like for beginners, I guess, is what I mean to say. Like, I have seen very few Enigmas. Its win rate is very high, but I'm always scared of a good Enigma player. Same with like a Brewmaster this patch. Brewmaster's been pretty popular the past few years, but less so the last patch, and he's coming back this patch, but another hero that you need to be able to play with a bit of finesse. It's not just, I'm Axe, I blink, I call. Same with Beast. He's a super hard flash farmer, lane dominator hero. I think the Ags build is absolutely nuts. But yeah, without further ado, let me move on to Axe. Hey guys, just a friendly reminder that 77% of you aren't subscribed to the channel. So if you do want more content and want to be up to date with the latest and greatest Dota 2 content out there on the YouTubes, please subscribe. Thank you. Have a good day. So for Axe, I need to save the changes. Of course, I do that every time. For Axe, I feel like the one-man army facet, even after the nerfs, is still by far the better facet. It has a much higher win rate, it has a much higher pick rate, and it just helps you do what you want to do better. Usually you're going to jump in first. In the early game, you get left alone a decent amount while you're farming your Blink Blade Mail. Increasing your HP by like a factor of your armor is just like really nice. And then you get armor from killing heroes, right? And then calling blades 3 times the amount. Now this has been changed a lot. It was completely broken before. Now it's like balanced. He's the most picked offlaner by far in the entire patch at my MMR. Probably in other brackets as well. I haven't really looked at the stats for that. But I feel like this hero's in every game. Last patch in the A patch, because we're in 7.36B now, I felt like if you didn't have this hero or Sand King, you would lose. And I was going to make a video for that patch too, but thankfully we got rid of all that. I think the offlane got toned down a little bit, and more heroes are kind of on even footing. But Axe is still like a monster hero, still very, very strong. Most people are going phase boots with some bracers, getting a blade mail, a blink, BKB, bloodstone, shard, sometimes refresher, sometimes wind waker. Like late game can be a little crazy, sometimes even aghanims. But the core items just being blade mail, BKB, blink. Blade mail, then blink, then BKB for the most part. And yeah, just very standard Blink Initiator offlaner, one of the bread and butter classic heroes. Next on the list, we have Vengeful Spirit, and this is like for those players that maybe they like playing more like a carry-ish style offlaner instead of an initiator, or they like to be more of like, or just a ranged hero in general. Previous patches, those type of style of players would play like Razor or Viper or something, or even Death Prophet. You're still going to be quite tanky. The build offlane I've seen is pretty much just like Bracer, Wraithband, Treads, Aghanims, Manta, just a bunch of stat items. You are going to take this melee facet, and this is very hard to convince people of, but like even though it says melee facet, you're really only taking this because it makes you attack faster. So like most heroes have a base attack time of 1.7, 1.9 if you're really slow, or 1.8 if you're treating, like I don't remember if it's 1.9 or 1.8, but this is essentially a 15 to 20% attack speed increase in the early game, and it tapers off a bit later on, I believe, or you need less attack speed for the same amount of attack speed. There's like nerd graph somewhere about it, but just know that you are going to attack faster. You're a universal hero, and you build a lot of stats that give you a lot of damage. So this is like just a huge DPS buff for the hero. Makes her really strong. I don't think the innate ability is all that important. But yeah, super straightforward. Just build a bunch of stat items, universal hero. Very fun to play. Free Aegis with the Agnums, pretty much. I mean, I say free, but you'd have to buy an Agnums. Next on the list, we have more of a... I mean, it's kind of like a mix of a carry, offlaner, and an initiator. You're gonna try to start fights or at least give vision. The ultimate is like complete craziness in a Dota game, just being able to basically have map hack whenever you press your ult. Sometimes you can press this in the nighttime, even though it's mostly used to turn day into night. I actually think the blinding void facet is slightly underrated, but this night rain facet is so strong. Just think about how you would normally play Night Stalker, right? I have to lane in the daytime, so I might have a rough lane. I'm going to have to make it to nighttime. And then maybe I can join the game for a little bit, even though I still want to be farming, because it's still the early game. And then I usually get my ult in the middle of the night, too, so it doesn't feel too well. But when the day-night cycle's flipped, so it starts at night, you're super strong in lane. I don't remember if you get a level of Hunter in the night level 1 or if it's or whatever this is. I think you just get more regen in the night, which feels good as well. But you're super strong in lane. And then around 5 or 6 minutes, right, when it starts turning into day, you're about to get your ultimate. You press it once, and then it's pretty much nighttime again. You get to like farm in the like 5 to 10 minute area where you get to scale up a bit, finish your phase boots, finish your bracers, maybe even get a Phylactery if you're really fast, get your blink, whatever it is you're getting. Echo Saber I've seen some people get. And you get your ult off, like I said, pretty early at level 6 during the first day, so it like stays night pretty much forever, it feels like, in the early game. That's just so good for him. Main reason why his pick rate's up, why he feels so oppressive in some games. And yeah. Next on the list, we have Centaur Warrunner Kentaur, my favorite Dota offlane hero. Very just the classic. Blink, AoE stun. On a low cooldown as well, so like I'm not a big fan of playing stuff like Tidehunter, for instance, because I don't like having a 3-minute cooldown or whatever it is on my AoE stun. I like short cooldown Blink stuns, basically the same cooldown as Blink, and you scale pretty well with your damage as well with Double Edge and the Shard. You end up getting like 10,000 HP in some games, honestly, if you have 5 stacks of your Shard going. Did receive a few nerfs. I tend to only go the horsepower facet, and I think I would normally get the health regen talent at 10 if you're farming a lot, but I've come around to this movement speed talent since you're usually missing movement speed in the early game with horsepower. Since this does not stack with boots, you don't want to be buying boots when you go the horsepower facet. You want to be just getting like 3 bracers and a wand usually, and then blade mail blink. And you're going to be like 10 to 20 movement speed down a regular Centaur with boots, like with the Counter-Strike facet. And then eventually you'll just outscale it and be faster later on, and you just save gold on boots. So if you do get like Seeds of Serenity or the Bubble, you can just maybe get the movement speed talent in some game. But yeah, another one of just those Blink Blade Mail heroes. So pretty much getting Blade Mail, then Blink. If your game is really rough, you can think of something else. Something I have seen people do is going phase boots anyway with this facet, or picking the other facet to buy phase boots against some heroes like Lifestealer or Ursa that can chase you down in the early laning phase and give you some trouble. So maybe just experiment with that a little bit. But yeah, I love this hero. It's a lot of fun. Pretty cool to not have to build boots. Another carry-ish offlaner, similar to Venge, but more carry potential, I would say, and like a bit weaker in the lane, but still very strong in the lane. I don't think you should ever take Whirlwind. I don't know, maybe there's like a few games where it's good, but for the most part, like the way you scale on Wind Ranger, since you're not the fastest farmer, like you're not just Shadow Fiend double raising at waves and camps. Like, yeah, you can power shot and you hit pretty hard and that's fine, but most of your scaling comes from finding those single target kills with Focus Fire, and that just like helps you get to the mid to late game so much better than maybe like when you're 6 slotted, you can Whirlwind the whole screen down and it looks really cool. But you're almost always going to take Tailwind. Makes your allies a little faster too when you're wind running. That's always cool. The build these days on Wind Ranger has been, same as the other Universal heroes. couple bracers or bracer Wraithband, maybe bracer Null Talisman if you feel like you want some mana regen, treads, Glipnir or Maelstrom into BKB. I prefer to finish the full Glipnir if I have a good game. After that, pretty much build whatever you want. You get Daedalus for even more damage potential. You can get Manta for a Dispel. You can get Aghanims if they have an MKB already, so that you can, like, I believe the Aghanim still works. So yeah, you have 45% less physical damage, so it helps you deal with heroes that have built some sort of evasion piercing, because everyone will against Windranger, or you're just going to solo kill them, carry for carry. Yeah, great hero, great fun. Now in this honorable mentions category, I'm not going to spend too much time talking about them. I don't want the video to last 30 minutes, but a lot of these heroes do what the top section heroes do, but better. Like I said before, like I think Axe is definitely a better Legion commander in most cases. There are some cases where a longer single target duel might be better, and the scaling might be even better as far as like building damage and stuff like that goes. So it's a bit more of playstyle there too. You might like prefer Legion Commander if you're really good at laning as well. Slardar, if for whatever reason you're not playing like against too many Troll Warlords or like Slardar counters, you just keep running into like Life Stealers and other heroes you can just beat up in lane. Very good lane dominator hero, and I think his 25 talent is nuts. The like basically permanent corrosive haze is like undispellable. It really like changes the way this hero used to fall off. I feel like he's really strong late game and really strong early game, and sometimes feels a little weak in the mid game. I'm not sure what facet's better either. I've seen both Brine Guard and Leg Day taken, mostly Leg Day for like there's so many Venos in the patch and stuff and just slows. But I don't remember what nerfs he got either, but his win rate seems a little lower than it was before, and I just think Centaur and Axe are just better at doing his job in most games. Does serve a purpose as like a counter pick or something though, so make sure like, you know, if you're a Slardar player, don't feel bad if you're picking it. So in these last three ones, these are kind of like hero specialists. I think Enigma's crazy strong right now. I think people are taking Event Horizon, and I'll click on him because these ones are a little bit more confusing. They move slower when they run away from him. I'm not sure if this is even good either. I really haven't played Enigma, and I've only seen it in a few games, and I know the stats are good on it. So Enigma players can maybe tell me in the comments even. Maybe this hero is even better than I'm giving it credit for. Maybe it's just like the best offlaner in the world, and we're about to see it in like the next tournament or something. But this hero feels really, really oppressive in most lanes. Same thing with Beastmaster. I feel like whenever I play against Enigma or Beastmaster, and even some extent like Visage, they're just like 15k net worth at 20 minutes, took the bottom tower at 5 minutes, just completely snowballing. And there has been games where they're completely feeding too, but they just feel like super strong heroes. You do have to watch out for like maybe a potential Gyrocopter, but he's not really in the meta. I don't think a lot of heroes in the meta really deal with the Eidolons either. And after the Wraith King nerfs, I've seen quite a lot less Wraith Kings, and that's another one of those problem matchups for Enigma generally. Brewmaster, pretty much the same as he was before, just Radiance Rush, a bunch of bracers, Radiance, maybe Travels, Manta, Octarine. You kind of have to know how to rat on Brewmaster to win sometimes, so again, like these heroes take a bit more finesse, that's why they're in the honorable mentions. But if you're a Brewmaster player, you can probably swap it out for one of these other 5 heroes if you want to put that in your pool, or if you're just like really good at Brewmaster, he's going to perform better than some of these other heroes if you're not good at them. Same with Beastmaster. I think Beastmaster has a lot of solo carry potential, even more than like a Windranger or a Avenge or a Night Stalker in some games, but you have to get really farmed. Like, I just played a game today where an enemy Beastmaster had 15k net worth at 20 minutes, so I'm not even kidding. And it felt like so oppressive. He was unkillable and just blink roar solo killing anybody. But yeah, that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed. I'll try to make more videos of this style for each role this patch. I like this patch a lot. Having a good time, so expect more content soon. And yeah, leave any comments or concerns in the comments section, and have a good day. Thanks, and thanks for watching, and please subscribe. Please. Thank you.